Hey guys, welcome to the next part of our series. Today we're going to continue with the medieval pants for our character. So yeah, let's go. I'm laughing because I'm re-recording this part because I forgot to remove the cover page from the original video. So yeah, this is where we got last time. As you can see, we're still using layers on this guy, which I'm gonna keep active right now because I actually set the layers to a number 1 because we're gonna be building the pants, and I want the pants to be, of course, underneath the character. Now, if you go online and try to look for pants like patterns, you're gonna find a lot of different things. And in this case, we're actually gonna be using this as a reference. I don't have a specific pattern for this one. We're gonna be using more complicated patterns later on. But this one looks pretty cool. Now, as you can see, we have a waistband, very important. We have this like leg protectors over here, which I would imagine are a little bit. They have less cloth, right? And that's why we get this really nice like folding effect over here. We also have a very low cut on the groin area, on the crotch, so you're gonna see that there's gonna be a lot of stuff over here in regards to fabric as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go. I'm gonna start here with the character. I'm gonna go into my polygon tool or rectangle tool, and let's start doing a belt. So this is gonna be like my basic belt, which is gonna be, I would say, something like that. Sounds good. And of course, this is just the front view, so I would need to go into edit pattern, select this pattern right here, right click, and hit unfold. And this is gonna give me the other half of my belt. I am of course gonna be sewing the segments from here to here, and we're gonna be using the patterns of our character here on the arrangement points, and we're gonna select this guy and place it right there on the belt area. There we go. Whoa. So this guy. Come on. I'm not sure if it's because we're seeing the patterns here. It's a little bit weird. Let's go back here. Okay, that's fine. I normally like to have the seam line on the back, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So we're going to simulate, and since this has the layer set to 0, of course it's going to be underneath the character. So now I'm going to go to the shirt, grab the whole pattern, right click, we're going to freeze it so that we don't have to calculate everything. Freeze it. There we go. And then select everything, right click, and we're gonna do hide 3D pattern. There we go. I think my shortcuts are turned off. There we go. So now that's the belt. It's a little bit high, I would say, so let's just bring it down a little bit. I would say probably about there. Looks a little bit better. There we go. I don't want a lot of resolution. I think that's more than enough. Let's bring this down a little bit as well. Like just above the like underwear line. Perfect. Now for the pants, we can like use or create our own polygon, and we're gonna be doing that actually for this one. So because I was gonna mention that yes, we can go back here, select the pants pattern, and just use it as a base, but it's a very simple pattern. Usually when you're doing pants, the only thing you want to keep into consideration is the amount of like space that you're gonna leave here, so that there's enough like room for everything down here. So we're gonna go here to our polygon option, and in this case, you can see that we have a lot of like pleats on the element. They're not specifically pleats, but they are like specific points that are getting this sort of like very nice effects, right? So that means that we're gonna go from here, from the center, out. I'm gonna go a little bit higher or farther out so that we get more fabric, of course, and then we're gonna go in to our leg section, which is gonna have a little bit less. Probably that's a little bit too much. So there. It has a really low cut on the groin area, so I would say something like that, and then we stop right there. Perfect. Now to align the points, remember we've talked about this before. You go into transform points segments, select 2 points, right click and say align to either the y-axis, which is vertical, or align to the x-axis. There we go. So this is going to be like one of my patterns. So like this one, Control C, right click, mirror paste. And we're immediately going to select the symmetric pattern with sewing. We select both of them, we copy, and we paste. And this is going to be the back view, of course. So now we start like moving these guys. So let's just click this, rotate them around, and place them on the back of our character, right there. And let's start stitching. So we're going to go to our segment sewing. We're going to go from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Oh, it's already there because we're using symmetric pattern. I always forget about that one. And now if we simulate, as you can see, we get this. Well, actually, my bad. There was one line that was not supposed to be there, and that's this one right here. So on this intersection, I don't want to like sew across. I want to sew with each leg. So this leg right here is going to go to this leg right here. Is going to go to that leg right there, like that. And then this section right here is going to go to that section right here. There we go. There's going to be a little bit of a pinch right there. That's fine. We're just going to press space. Whoop. Let's reset the 2D layout. Let's use garment points or adjustment points. So this one. Oh, come on. I'm not sure what's wrong with that arrangement point, but whatever. I'm going to rotate this around. I do want this thing to be, or I do want the seam line to be on the back or as close to the back as possible. So I'm just going to move this manually. There we go. Now this one goes like there. And this one goes like there. That's a little bit closer. Now it might be a good idea to already sew this thing to the upper section as well. So I'm going to go to free sewing because the spaces are not the same. And we're going to go from here to here. From here. Is that the same? No, it can't be the same. That's really weird. Kind of looks like it's the same distance, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not the same distance. Where's my little point? Oh, right. So, okay, just to clarify why this is not working. The problem is, of course, this thing has way more, like a, what's the word? Way more fabric than the other piece, right? So, even if I do this right here, like there's no way I'm gonna see my little blue dot because it's just not gonna get all the way over there. So I'm just gonna have to like kind of eyeball it. So I'm gonna do like half of it, and then the other half, which is this one right here, again from the center to the center, and from that point to the very end. So that way we get that sort of effect. Again, from the middle point to the side, roughly there, halfway point, and then from the side to the back point, and from the side to the back point. There we go. So now if we simulate, we should get this. Nice little super wobbly pants. There we go. Let's move this up. It seems to have some sort of like stitching or something, or not stitching, like it's sticking to the character for some reason. It might be the shirt on the top since it's frozen. Let me stop the simulation then. Let's unfreeze this, even if we don't see it, but at least just know that it's there. Yeah, that was it. So the freeziness of the element was making it a little bit difficult. So there we go. As you can see, we have this very like very big fluffy pants. But the seam line, the main, like the crotch area is way too high. It's this one right here. So I'm gonna go again to transform point segments. Select those points. Let's bring them down. We could also use the technique that we saw on the shirt where we added this gusset that would add like it would give a little bit of extra volume there on the pants, so that we wouldn't have this sort of like effect. But I think this one's is looking interesting. Now here's where we can like change a couple of things. For instance, like if I move this thing, because I want to see how the wrinkles change direction. Like right now it was looking a little bit like a diaper, and I kind of didn't like that sort of effect that we were getting. So this looks a little bit more decent. There's a lot of folds, of course, but they do look a little bit more decent. Kind of like, again, similar to pleats. Not exactly like pleats, but similar to pleats. We definitely need to do the same thing on this bottom side. And actually, I think the bottom side, I'm actually going to bring this like lower, even lower. So we have way more room here on the back. Oh, it's like a weird pinching over there. So we're pinching because distances are not the same. So let's bring them up again. There we go. So now there shouldn't be any more pinching, and this thing should fall a little bit like nicer. Seems to be missing a lot of butt over here, but that's fine. Now we're gonna do the trim lines, so the support edges that we have down here. And I think one of the easiest way to do it is just grab this pattern, like this one right here. And since we already have these two patterns, just bring them all the way down to where this thing is gonna stop, which is about there. There we go. And then just add it in like in the do an internal line. So right click, offset as internal line. I'm gonna do, I think a little bit more than this. I'm gonna go like 250. It's quite high, so 250. That seems to be a little bit better. Actually, I'm just realizing that this line should be like slightly below the knee. So I'm gonna grab this line, or let's delete the line. And I'm gonna grab this two guys. No, those are fine. Those are fine. We're gonna grab these two guys, and those are fine on the ankles. But the line should be like right about here, so that's quite a big of a distance. So again, we're gonna grab this guy, right click, offset as internal line. It's probably gonna have to be something like 400, a little bit less, like 350. Yeah, that seems a little bit. I'm gonna go 360. There we go. Hit OK, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side, same distance. So select the line, right click, offset this internal line, 360. There we go. Hit OK. Select both of them, right click, and cut and sew, of course, to free them from all of the parts of the pants. Now it's just a matter of grabbing these guys right here and making them smaller, right? Because we want them to be way tighter on the elements. There we go. Look at that, amazing, really cool. I do want them to be even tighter on the inside. So this line right here and this line right here, I'm gonna transform point segments. I'm gonna scale them in and just simulate. It's gonna give me a really nice close fit on the down down section over there, and then like a bigger fit over here. Now I do want to have more wrinkles here on the pants as well. So that means, again, following the thing that we already know, that we're gonna have to go here to the segments, select one of the segments, and scale it up. And the bigger the segment is, the more wrinkles we're gonna have. So when we simulate, we're gonna have a really baggy pant right there. Cool. So this is looking nice. I don't love this pinch that we have right there. Let me see if we can see that like weird pinch, and I think it's because of this line right here. So I'm gonna go here to the edit curve point, or just edit point, transform point. Let's bring this closer, just like this, because these are meant to be just like a little point there to indicate where the pants kind of like stop. There we go. Those are looking a lot nicer, a lot fluffier, and closer to the reference, right? So again, if you guys remember, this is the reference that we have, and this is what we're getting. Now, one thing that I'm noticing though is that the upper side of the reference is closer to the body than the lower side. So right now it seems to be the other way around, which means, again, that it might not be a bad idea to select the segments up here, like this one, and just make it slightly smaller. Same for this one. Probably a little bit more. And just simulate. So now what I'm expecting to see is a little bit of a nicer fit up there and a little bit of a looser fit down here. Another thing we can do, and this is something that we haven't really done before, is we can add a curve to the lower sections. And adding a curve is kind of like adding more volume, because this length right here is going to change. And it's very easy. We just go here and right click, and we are gonna split. And we're gonna do a uniform split. Hit OK. Same for this one. And we're gonna do a uniform split right here. Okay. Select those 2 points that we just created. Right click, or first let's move them down. So I'm gonna move them down to create like a pike. So these 2 lines are now longer, of course. And then if we right click, we can convert to curve points. And we're gonna get this curve point. And now what's gonna happen is when we simulate, you're gonna see that we get way more fluffy volume down here on the bottom, because of course there's more fabric, right? So we know already that the more fabric that we have, the crunchier and the bigger, the smoother it's gonna get. So yeah, this is pretty much it. As you can see, we can get a very like fast and easy like pants segment without that much of a problem. And now we can just go into our other element, the shirt. All of this guys over here. Right click. Let's just show the 3D patterns. And look at this. Really, really, really nice. Cool. So yeah, I think this one looks really, really nice. And now one thing that we could definitely like benefit from is adding a little bit of thickness to certain areas. So for instance, this guy's right here, we can again use the trick that we've used so many times before. Right click, just go to pattern selection tool. Right click, layer clone. Let's do over. Again, remember it's the same. Just make sure that whatever's over is over and whatever's under is under, and that way you won't forget which one's supposed to be which one. That's gonna give us a little bit more thickness to the whole thing, and it's gonna look a little bit firmer, especially if that's supposed to be like supported by leather or something. That's something that we definitely want to add to our character. And yeah, I mean, he looks pretty nice, I think. One thing I like to do is to actually like hide the avatar. And that way we can appreciate the garment without the avatar, because the avatar, let's face it, it's not really made out to be like a medieval warrior. So this is what we would export to like ZBrush or Maya or something to create bakes from, and this would be our like our simulated mesh. Now we can go to the avatar though. Let's go to the male, and we do have some poses. So for instance, we can do this sort of like running pose. Let's do pose only, and you can see how the whole garment moves and accommodates itself to show us how this will. How this whole like thing would look if the character is running, which as you can see, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna stop the video right here, guys. We're gonna stop on this specific part. We're not done yet. I want to add a couple of accessories to this guy. They're gonna be quite interesting. So just let's go back. Let's go back to like a basic pose here. And yeah, we're gonna be doing this on the next video. So make sure to get all the way to this point. Make sure to like follow all of this pattern so that you get this very nice result. And I'll see you back on the next one. Yep, bye bye.